So what happens with a model, a great model, most people sell a concept. Context is what sells everything. So context gives everything meaning.
Have used choreography quite a few times.
Lots.
Tell us what that means and why is it better than something else?
Yeah. So scripting's rehearsed. And when I spent time in musical theatre, in my teen years and young adult years. And I paid a stage musician to teach me stage magic. I'm really interested in comedy. I wanted to learn stage magic to be better as a presenter, to use, magic in presentations and things like that. And scripting from a sales perspective over the years has defaulted into, here's the script and follow it, right? And what immediately happens when people are following a script is they lose authenticity and tonality. And unless they're exceptionally good, the salesperson, the prospect can hear that, they can hear that it's a script. And so what you find is that people who are great at sales and using scripts will at some point go off script.
Sure.
Choreography fundamentally is an adaptive art form. It's the ability, it's the intention of getting to a punchline. It's what I call the punchline effect, because conversion occurs like that. There's this, the buyer's made the decision before they meet you. They are already interested in what you do, and they just need you to justify it for them, or they're resistant. And mostly we're hardwired for resistance. And so you've got to jump them to your green line.
I would say, what I understand from copy and persuasion is that really people are looking for the moment to disconnect.
Correct.
And say no, not looking for the moment to say yes.
Correct.
So every thing that you do in your presentation or pitch risks
totally
triggering that, oh, there it is. That's how I get out. Right?
Totally. Absolutely right. So we kind of unfolded this concept of the punchline. If you think about the punchline in comedy, in great comedy, the punchline is impossible to resist. They drop the punchline and everyone bursts into laughter. That really started to wax my mind when I first started thinking about this. A great comedian uses the rhythm of three and the laws of three and all this, and a joke is really just a setup, punchline. And the punchline is delivered and everyone bursts out laughing, right? So in an instant, their resistance to the joke has flipped and been replaced with acceptance to the joke. And it happened like that, right? And the reason most punchlines work really well is because usually in great comedy, the punchline is an absurd expression of truth. Magic is set up, but magic is mechanical and scientific. So with magic, if the stage is out there, the people in front of me can't see anything past my arms if I hold them up like this. So I can do anything I like back here to set up. And I want that visual moment where they go, wow, because it's incontestable. So the punchline is what I call the incontestable moment of truth. I want the buyer to reach this incontestable moment of truth where in their mind they're going we're going to have to figure out what we need to do or we're going to go without, rather than, okay, I'm going to make a decision whether I want this or not. That's not the right decision to be getting the buyer to make. The decision we want to get the buyer to make is, I already know I want this. Question is, can I afford this?
Right.
Or am I going to have to go without? And most people will find a way to afford rather than go without.
Sure.
And so choreography is this process of having a pathway or a setup that allows you to be entirely adaptive within that and bring people into the conversation, have them contribute to the conversation. Facilitation is the flexibility of not needing a script, just being able to have a chat. So I can draw a model and let you take whole chunks of conversation, but the model's going to bring me back to where I need to be for the pathway, for the setup. And then every model has certain punchlines. So what happens with a model, a great model, most people sell a concept. Context is what sells everything. So context gives everything meaning. If I've got a business that's absolutely tanking and I know it's our conversion rate and I see someone who can absolutely smash conversion rates, that context makes that an unavoidable necessity for me. But if my business is doing pretty great and someone's selling, a system that can smash conversion rate. It's maybe interesting, it's maybe not. I've got other priorities. Context gives everything meaning. And most people are selling at concept level, not context level. And we deliberately design models so they always carry context and concept together. So the buyer is always understanding concept, relative to context.